Hello friends! I continue to familiarize you with what American democracy is all about. So in 1989, the US decided to take the Panama Canal from Panama. The Panama Canal is a shipping canal that connects the Gulf of Panama in the Pacific Ocean to the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. That is a very important route for crossing from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean and vice versa. For example, thanks to the Panama Canal, there is no need to go around South America, and the sea route from New York to San Francisco is reduced from 22,000 kilometers to 9,000 kilometers. Every year, about 14,000 ships carrying about 280 million tons of cargo pass through the construction of the canal. This is 5% of the world's ocean freight traffic. The canal is overloaded, so the turn of passage through it is sold at auctions. The total fee for a ship to pass through the canal can be up to $400,000. So, earlier in 1977 in Washington, the head of Panama, Amar Tarijas, and US President Jimmy Carter signed an agreement in which the states in late 1999 were to transfer control of the Panama Canal to the government of this country. Prior to that, the canal had also been controlled by the United States. They took possession of it in the early 20th century by staging a coup d'etat in Colombia, thus fragmenting the country. Panama and Colombia were one country, so in 1903, a new independent state appeared on the world map. It was called the Independent Republic of Panama. Only 2 weeks later, Panama, independent, signs a treaty with the United States, under which virtually all rights to the canal and the adjacent territories are transferred to the Americans. Democracy, human rights, and freedom are good bait for fools, but when serious money is at stake, it is no longer a joke. Therefore, in order not to give the Panama Canal in 1999, the Americans first initiated a criminal case in the US against the supreme leader of the National Liberation of Panama, Manuel Noriega, who, after Tarijas, was the main defender of national interests. The pressure did not frighten him. Then the US, through its agency of Panamanian officers trained in the US, tried to overthrow Panama's leadership in an armed coup. But the rebellion was suppressed. On December 20th, 1989, the US conducted a military intervention in Panama, right cause, landing 26,000 troops. They seized the TV center, launched their channel with pre-prepared content that persuaded everyone not to resist, and Noriega was slung mud. At the same time, they announced the deposition of the dictatorial regime. Noriega himself was kidnapped, taken to the US, and sentenced to 40 years for drug use. They put their own Navalny, named Guillermo Gallimani, a US-trained opposition politician at the time, as head of Panama. Here's just drawing parallels to today. Guillermo's first order of business was to replace school history textbooks with those prepared in advance and sealed in the United States. The circulation with the necessary historical assessments of the creation of the Panama Canal and the villainous role in quotes of Presidents Tarijas and Noriega. Well over a month after the military coup, he signed treaty amendments allowing the United States to own the Panama Canal indefinitely. He also disbanded the army. Well, to this day, Panama, like many other countries, is a neo-colony of the United States. So, that's another cautionary tale.